Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I will be sharing. I started to the cloud as well, so we'll be sharing the recording. Yuriy has joined us as well, so I think we can kick off. So welcome everyone. My name is Uliana Avtonomova. I'm advisor at the president of the fund, as the president fund of Ukraine for Education, Science and Sports. I'm also the founder of the UK-Ukraine Academic Network. And basically we initiated together with the fund this program. So very welcome, warm welcome to the official kickoff of the UK-Ukraine STEM Pro program. We're delighted to see so many of you here as we begin this kind of new chapter of collaboration between Ukrainian researchers and leading UK academic and industry partners. Today we started the program that is kind of designed to strengthen scientific excellence, build new partnerships, support Ukraine's academic community during a time when these connections matter more than ever. And before we move into agenda, I'm honored also to introduce the participants joining us for this opening session. So we have Yuriy Petryshenko, who is the director of the Fund of the President of Ukraine for Education, Science and Sports. We have Professor Michael Ward, who is the Vice Provost and Chair of the Faculty of Science, Engineering and Medicine at the University of Warwick. And we also have Dr. Kelestyn, who is an associate professor at Warwick Business School and co-chair of the Response to the Events in Ukraine Working Group. With us is also Lyudmila Boyko, who is the program manager at the UK-Ukraine Diaspora Network, and we'll be sharing more operational details later on. We will have a few intro words from our guests and hosts. So first, I'll give the floor to Yuriy, please. The floor is yours, who will be sharing a little bit more about the funds and the mission of the fund.
Thank you, Uliana. Let me share my presentation about our fund. 1 minute. Yeah. Yes. Can you see?
Yes. Yes, we can see you.
Thank you. One moment. Yes. Oh, excellent. Hello, colleagues. My name is Yuriy Petryshenko. I'm an acting director of the Fund of the President of Ukraine for support of education, science and sport. We are new and we are a new institution which was established in 2023 as a governmental startup, and we are a state non-commercial institution. Our mission is to develop human capital for recovery of Ukraine. Our target audience is gifted Ukrainian youth across secondary and higher education, including winners of national international academic Olympiads, graduates with highest scores in the national multi-subject test, advanced masters and PhD students, outstanding young researchers like you, and high-achieving youth in sport.
Sorry, Yuriy, are you sharing the clicking the slides? Because I think we just see the first one.
Okay. Yeah. You see only first one, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, and now?
Now, I think
Okay.
probably you could stop. Oh, now it works. Yeah.
Okay. We can continue this format. Okay. Our fund pay presidential stipends and scholarships to motivate gifted Ukrainian youth stay in Ukraine and prevent brain drain. Our goal, I want to emphasize that this is a part of presidential policy to keep talented Ukrainian youth in Ukraine and give opportunities to continue professional lives in Ukraine. Our goals are supporting talented youth international development of Ukrainian academia, and formation presidential talent pool to promote post-war recovery of Ukraine. The main directions of our fund are international academic opportunities for gifted youth, attracting leading international professors to teach in Ukraine, and other projects in area of education, science, and sports. I will briefly describe this direction on the next slides. International academic opportunities for gifted youth includes master's, PhD, and postdoctoral studies, internship at top foreign universities and research institutions, and international academic activities, for example, conference, summer school, and other. Attracting leading international professors to teach in Ukraine gives access to world-class lectures for Ukrainian students. It's important to boosting Ukrainian universities in global rankings. On this slide, you can see examples of successful partnership between famous professors and Ukrainian universities, for example, Francis Fukuyama and Ivan Franko National University of Lviv. The example of our project is the Global Coalition of Ukrainian Studies. This is an initiative of First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, but our fund supports this initiative. The Global Coalition of Ukrainian Studies unites Ukrainian studies initiatives for sharing accurate knowledge about Ukraine worldwide. Now this coalition includes 31 members from 12 countries. Speaking about United Kingdom, on this slide you can see universities which have already joined the coalition. This is University of Cambridge, Cardiff University, and others. Thank you for attention. I strongly believe that this project will be useful for you, and on behalf of our fund, I wish you to found new ideas, new friends, and new cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yuriy. Thank you for your warm words. And now we'll be transitioning to the UK perspective. So I'm delighted to introduce Professor Michael Ward, who's the Vice Provost and Chair of the Faculty of Science, Engineering and Medicine at the University of
And
Warwick.
also, I want to thank University of Warwick for cooperation and support this project.
Yeah, Professor Ward, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I have to say I'm much more used to using Teams than Zoom, so I hope I do this correctly. So if the slides don't work or you can't hear me, please just shout and I'll see what I can do. I can see what I can do to fix it.
Yuriy, can you please stop sharing so that
you.
Professor Ward will be able to stop sharing? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. So first of all, can I welcome you all virtually to the University of Warwick. It's really good to have you here, and I'm delighted that the institution, through the organisation of my colleague Bo Kelestyn and some others, has been able to and is very enthusiastic to support this initiative to work with academics from Ukraine and see what we can do to help in the current circumstances. Bo contacted me not very long ago about this, and I'm really impressed to see that this has taken shape really quite fast with this meeting and a group of other online meetings being organized quite quickly. And I believe there'll also be some in-person visits to spend time on the campus. I can't remember, is that next year, Bo, January or February?
That's it, yeah, February.
Something like that. So I hope that maybe some of you on this call will be able to visit the campus and use that as a basis to visit the region and see other universities and find out how we do things and discuss our research and teaching and see what we can do to work more closely together. So Bo asked me to give a quick introduction to the faculty I work in. I should say I'm chair of the Faculty of Science, Engineering and Medicine. So obviously that is my particular focus. And I have a short introduction, not too many slides. Bo suggested between 10 and 20 minutes. I hope it will be nearer 10 minutes than 20 minutes, but I will run through them just to give you an introduction to the shape and the size of my faculty and the kind of activities that we do. I'll particularly focus on research activities. Of course, there wouldn't be time if I explained all of our teaching activities as well. We would be here till Christmas, but I will keep it short and sweet as an introduction, and then you can ask questions at the end if there's anything you want to know. So let me see if I can make this work. So if I go share, screens, document, okay, desktop, content. Okay, is anything sharing?
I can't see anything just yet.
Okay, that's not very good. Okay, so I'll come out of share, cancel.
If not, I can share the slides for you, Mike. You will just have to give me the instructions when to click for you. But the team might need to make me a co-host as well.
I think because I don't use
Already
Zoom
did.
very often, there's some
There we
kind
go.
of security feature that stops me from screen sharing. Right, thank you. Thank you very much. Right, so that's me, Michael Ward, Mike. I've even got the date right, which is a good start. So as I said, a big welcome, really good to see you. So, okay, Bo, next slide. So, yeah, so the Faculty of Science, Engineering and Medicine is 10 departments. It's a big faculty and it spans the range from some medium departments to some very large departments. And it covers all of the subjects really that you would expect in a faculty of its name. I can see already that in PowerPoint, some of the formatting has become slightly scrambled, but never mind. I'm sure you can see what's underneath. So the faculty contains departments that you can approximately split into 3 areas. So there are physical sciences, engineering, manufacturing. So we have departments of chemistry, which is my home, and engineering and physics, and a particularly large industry-focused department called WMG, Warwick Manufacturing Group. And then we have life and medical sciences. So we have the School of Life Sciences, which is all things biological. And we have a psychology department. And we have Warwick Medical School, a very large research and teaching department covering all aspects of medicine. And then slightly obscured at the bottom by some random PowerPoint formatting gremlins, we have mathematical sciences, and we have departments in maths, statistics, and computer science. So that's my empire. Those are the 10 departments that I have oversight of. And those 2 graphics, which have become mixed up with the text, are supposed to show you how big the faculty is, even as part of a big university. So we occupy 3/4 of the footprint of the buildings in the university. So 78% is the last data I have. And on the right, that slightly clearer figure is our total income. And the Science, Engineering and Medicine faculty in blue has over half of all of the university research income. The orange one is social science. The grey one is arts and humanities. And as you can see, science, engineering and medicine brings in £386 million a year. So it's substantially the biggest, both geographically and economically, and in terms of numbers of students in the university. So next slide, please, Bo. So I'm just going to give a quick summary of the 10 departments and what they all do. And I hope some of this will resonate with some of you, and you will find things here that you might be interested in and want to follow up on. in later discussions. So I'm just going through the departments in alphabetical order, not order of importance or priority or anything. So begin with chemistry. And chemistry does research in 4 areas. It's focused on excellence, in particular on chemical biology, so biological systems for drugs and for food and for biotechnology and medicines and so on, so links to medicine. It has a very strong presence in materials and polymers, so there's a big research group looking at both solid state inorganic materials like battery materials, for example, for mobile phones and electric vehicles, and also soft materials, polymers, for all sorts of applications in catalysis and new applications for polymers and soft materials. There's a group that does measurement and modeling. So everything from laser spectroscopy to computational chemistry to new analytical techniques. These are our physical chemists who measure things. We've got a very big group doing atomic level resolution microscopy, for example, to investigate structures of new materials. And finally, my home, synthesis and catalysis, making stuff, what a non-chemist would think a chemist does. You know, boiling things and playing with test tubes and making new compounds and materials. So that's chemistry. Next one, Bo, computer science, next in alphabetical order. One of the top computer science departments in the UK for research. And it spans activities in research from very mathematical and theoretical to very applied. So some of our computer scientists are basically mathematicians looking at how complexity arises, the underpinning basis of artificial intelligence processes, all the way through to their applications in the real world in data science and cybersecurity. And they have a big project going on at the moment in use of AI for image analysis. So how can you diagnose complicated medical images in fractions of a second and home in on you know, a brain tumor or a lung cancer or some small defect in an X-ray, for example, using artificial intelligence methods, a big collaboration between computer science and the medical school. Okay, next one. So after computer science, we have engineering, which is a very big department. They have about 1,500 students. It's one of the largest in the faculty. And they're a general engineering department. They try and do everything and succeed pretty well. Some of their main research areas are here. So predictive modeling is computational prediction of the properties of materials. If you make a new solid state material or a new polymer, can you predict what it will do and how it will behave? Biomedical engineering is a big area. So things like new technologies for sensing and health applications, and they're involved in the clinical research project with medical imaging as well. They have a big focus on energy research, electronics and electronic materials, and many others you can see listed at the bottom, from environmental engineering, water engineering, to chemical engineering and measurement methods. So our engineering department tries to cover the whole spectrum of engineering topics, which is very broad. So next, maths. Maths is one of the jewels in our crown. It has a very high reputation. The Warwick Maths department is on the same level, they would say, with some truth, as Oxford and Cambridge and Harvard and places like that. It's a very distinguished department. It contains a Fields medalist, for example. That's the maths equivalent of the Nobel Prize, if you haven't heard of the Fields Medal. So it's one of the UK's leading departments, very large, with about 100 staff. And to give you an idea of the quality, they regard a set of A-level grades. I don't know if you're familiar with UK A-level grades, but we go A, B, C, D, E, A being good, and then a small proportion of the best A grades are called A star. Okay, and in my own subject, chemistry, we take students with grades of A, B, B. Maths regards someone with A star, A star, A as kind of not very good. So they're very, very high achieving and attract absolutely brilliant students. Okay, next. Physics, another very big department, 80 staff, something like that. And they are interested in all aspects of physics. It's a very broad subject, from collaborations with medicine. Someone, for example, building small robots to look at the skin and look inside the body and identify cancers using infrared spectroscopy. They do theoretical physics, sort of computational based. There's a big astronomy and astrophysics group trying to look at nearby stars and solar systems to see if we can identify habitable planets. So are there any planets that we could live on 30 light years away, which will be very useful when they figure out how to travel faster than light, which is, you know, a small problem that we haven't yet figured out. So there are astrophysicists, there are people doing fusion research, and condensed matter physics is almost overlapping with chemistry, looking at solid state materials and their properties and applications of those. The head of department in physics is looking at the properties of diamond as a conductor in electrode materials in a collaboration with chemistry. So there are new materials and compounds based on synthetic diamonds for applications that you can't do anything else with. Okay, next. Psychology, which is sort of aligned with medicine and life sciences, but is very much around behavioral science. And most of their research uses human people, real people, to do experiments with. So they rely on large longitudinal surveys involving big pools of real volunteers. And they look at really interesting problems like how we make decisions and why we sometimes make the wrong decisions. There's a big project on how people drive safely. If you're driving a car, what it is that distracts you so that you exceed the speed limit. So there's interesting psychology behind safely driving a car, and the psychology department is working with local police forces on programs to encourage people to be more aware of how to drive safely. They're looking at where language development comes from by comparing human volunteers with monkeys and apes to see the parallels in development of language development. What happens to children who were born very early and what the long-term consequences of that are. And there's a group looking at the effects of things like chronic pain on quality of life and sleep. There is a lab looking at how well people sleep under different circumstances, which I have to say is an experiment I would very happily sign up for as long as possible, but I think they're full. Right. The Life Sciences Department covers all aspects of the biologies. There are 6 research clusters there. I won't read them all out, but you can see how they span quite large plant-based work, agricultural biosciences, for example. So the Life Sciences Department owns some fields nearby, and they use a field as a research lab for trying different ways of growing crops and different kinds of genetically modified crops that might produce higher yields of food in extreme temperatures for people who live in challenging climates, for example. And at the other end of the scale, they're very close to what the medical school does in things like neuroscience, brain chemistry, and cells and development, the molecular basis of how cells interact with each other when they grow. So 6 big research areas covering everything from trees to cells, basically, and all sizes and shapes in between. Statistics is one of the mathematical science clusters, and it's unusual in that it's the largest standalone statistics department in the UK that is not part of a maths department. Most maths departments have a handful of statisticians who live in a corner somewhere. Ours have their own big shiny department. It's a similar size to maths, and they are very distinguished, one of the leading departments in the UK for many different aspects of statistical research. And they are particularly good at generating impact with industry. Statistics is where maths meets the real world in many areas. So many of the colleagues in statistics have external partnerships with industry and even government. For example, during the COVID pandemic, it was people from our statistics department who worked on the government advisory committee to do all the modelling for, should we extend lockdown? Should we do lockdown at all? Should we respond in a different way, doing the population level statistical analysis of how a pandemic might develop? Okay, next one. WMG, I think this is the last, no, there's one more after this. WMG is Warwick Manufacturing Group, which is a very non-traditional department that really exists to interact, principally to interact with industry. They were set up as a branch of the engineering department, which underwent a form of cell division, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago, and became an engineering department and Warwick Manufacturing Group. So it's split in half. And WMG is particularly well known for all of the electronics around electric vehicles, battery systems, battery testing, motors. So they have partnerships with Jaguar Land Rover, for example, very close industry partnerships. And they've expanded to developing new materials, applications of new technologies, and even management techniques. So, for example, there is a collaboration between WMG and our business school in how businesses can use new manufacturing techniques to streamline their processes and become more efficient. And WMG is really good at going around the university and getting research out of academic departments and persuading them to take it to the real world. They're doing it with life sciences at the moment. So there is a collaboration between Warwick Manufacturing Group and the biologists. And I was really surprised at this. I thought, what have a bunch of people who do electric cars got to do with biologists? And it turns out that the biologists grow plants in fields, and WMG have got robots that can recognize when a plant is ready to be harvested, use artificial intelligence methods to decide this is ready to pick, and do all of the supply chain to take it to market after that. So the biologists doing the fundamental research and WMG doing the applied research to get the research out into the marketplace in a useful way. There are countless examples of that, and I won't go through all of them, but that's what WMG are good at. Finally, the medical school, a big research and teaching school, and they're split into 3 research areas. So biomedical sciences is the kind of work that almost overlaps with biology. So it's molecular biology, cellular level work, if you like, the cellular biochemical end of medicine. Then the applied health division looks more at population and health data science, technology, for example, closer to the population. And then the clinical trials unit coordinates the big research studies about, does this drug work? Does this change in clinical practice make a difference? And the head of the medical school, for example, Gavin, who's a distinguished medic, hospital medic, a clinical doctor, has just completed a big clinical trial on how to improve care in heart attack victims. If you treat them in a particular way, is there statistical evidence that this makes a benefit and improvement to long-term outcomes, for example? That's what our clinical trials unit does. And obviously they have links with hospitals and businesses who are interested in all of the things that they do. So that's the end of the 10 departments. And then I just want to show you, go forwards again, Bo, what the future holds for the faculty. Now, as you haven't been here yet and don't know the geography of the campus, this won't mean much to you, but the university is investing a very large amount of money. I can't tell you how much because it's top secret, but it's a scary amount of money, in a new combined facility and set of buildings for chemistry and physics and engineering. It's going to be huge. Those departments were some of the original buildings from the 1960s. They're all falling apart, and I know because I work in one, and the windows leak and the rain comes in and terrible things happen. So all of the departments having an integrated new huge campus. And I don't know if you can see the block at the end. Can you see my arrow? You probably can't because Bo is sharing her screen, not mine. The block on the top right-hand corner, that one is about the size of a cathedral, just to put it into context. And that is going to be all of the laboratory-based work for chemistry, physics, and engineering. And apart from the fact that it's going to be a shiny new building, it will be the basis for attracting more students and more research. But it's not going to be organized along traditional department lines. You won't be able to say the chemistry department lives here, the physics department lives here, the engineering department lives here. They're going to be integrated along space lines, space type. So it turns out, just to give you one example, chemistry and physics and engineering all independently do lasers. They all have laser tables in laser labs. So wouldn't it make sense to put them all together so that the chemists and the physicists and the engineers can share equipment in an excellent facility and work together rather than in isolation in separate areas, which is what's happening at the moment. So go forwards again, Bo. Next slide. That's what it looked like in the 1960s, and that's what it's going. Oh, very good. Bo's playing with the special effects. I like that. So these buildings are pretty much, apart from the crane, that photo was taken in 1966, and to be honest, it hasn't changed much, apart from the fact that there's a few more buildings and the mud has gone. But those concrete buildings are going to become, ta-da, that's it. We're going to have a wonderful new science precinct for chemistry, physics, and engineering. There's a big hole in the ground at the moment, so it's being built. And you can come and admire the hole in the ground if you visit the campus. And next slide. And so we have clear plans for how this is going to benefit us. You can read all those. They're fairly obvious. Better students will be attracted, an improved research culture. We hope to attract more industry funding. And it's going to be the biggest single capital development, the biggest spend that the university has done since it was started 60 years ago. And finally, last slide. There we go. So those are the things that we hope are the future of the chemistry, physics, engineering precinct, but all of the science, engineering, and medicine faculty will benefit from the new facilities and new ways of working around that. So there we go. That's everything I have to say. So Bo, if you want to stop sharing the screen, if anyone has any questions, I'll do what I can. Otherwise, I'll shut up and let whoever is next on the agenda speak. But I'm very happy to take a question or two if people want.
Yeah, put them in the chat or just raise your hand if you have any questions. Meanwhile, I think we can, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being today with us, Professor Ward. This is a pleasure, and I think there will be an opportunity also for those who will be joining our program offline in the UK, also visit the facilities in person and see both the hole in the ground and something else more inspiring.
Well, I look forward to seeing some of you in February.
Yeah, thank you so much. But I also want to give the floor to you to kind of also to share your thoughts and ideas of the program, and I think also maybe to cover a little bit why kind of this is a magic partnership between Warwick University and the Present Fund for STEM actually has happened.
Thank you, Uliana. Вітаю, колеги. It is an absolute pleasure to have you all here. As Mike said, we are, building this plane as we are flying it in the kind of the best Ukrainian tradition of not taking no for an answer and just plowing through with the goal and a mission and the values that we hold so dearly. So it's a great pleasure for us to be a partner in this project. It's an absolute privilege to be part of all your development. Having been in the UK for 18 years. Now, I find as a Ukrainian in the UK, it's my mission to do what I can to bring the attention onto Ukraine and connect my dear UK colleagues with the communities in Ukraine. And this is exactly what this collaboration is about. So we're just so excited to have you here virtually. Hopefully some of you, as all the speakers have said, on campus in February. We have a really great program in the pipeline. I think Uliana will say a few more words about what to expect. I will just say that we are still, finalizing things. So some stuff that we are excitingly sharing today may be subject to change, of course. It's a busy time of the year in the run up to Christmas now, but we're just really excited to bring these different perspectives from Warwick. But we also want to hear from you, right? We want to hear that feedback. We want to hear your thoughts. What are the different disciplines and backgrounds people are coming from, so that we can make sure that every session as we are co-creating this program kind of really hits the expectations. And we're briefing all of the speakers very carefully as well, to make sure that, again, they share the information that's just most relevant and most exciting for you guys to share. But the hope here, and I'm sure that's also the big vision that Uliana had when she was creating the program, is to build those bridges, build those connections, right? So we are just wanted to signal that we are super open, that even if you don't meet a colleague or interact with a colleague or an area of work that is directly linked to the work that you're doing, please let us know, because we can always connect you with other colleagues. Be a critical friend, as we call it in the UK. Be a support and be kind of a listening ear and a shoulder if you ever needed us. So yeah, very warm welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited for this journey. A little bit nervous, so and I need a few more things to fall into place to feel a little bit more relaxed, but just really grateful. And of course, massive thanks to Mike and everyone else at Warwick for supporting us and standing with Ukraine. The university has got a whole range of initiatives and programs that I'm sure all of you will get to know as we communicate over the next few weeks. And obviously when you are here, there's a great deal of really warm, supportive, fantastic academics, students and faculty and professional services that really are doing their best to do what they can in their power to stand with Ukraine and to signal that the community here is firmly with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you both for warm words. And yeah, I think as both said, we're building while we're flying, but it's fine. So I'm happy to also share some more details about the program. So I'll be sharing the my screen, but Mike, Bob, feel free to leave when you need. And thank you so much one more time for joining us tonight. So let me share my screen. Can you see?
Yeah, we see the Canva window, yeah.
Perfect. And if I change the slide, can you see can you see the next slide?
Yes, looking good.
Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, thank you everyone one more time for joining tonight. I mean, I know in Kiev and other parts of Ukraine is kind of energy is in and out. So I will be covering today some kind of basic information about the program, as well as all the links, the useful links, how we'll be selecting the participants for the UK visit. And also we'll kind of agree on all the operational aspects, how we communicate, where, etc. So as Yuriy already mentioned, the fund has been established 2.5 years ago. So basically what we have done to the date, and I think the vast majority of you, I hope, have heard already about the twinning program. So the twinning program was supported in Ukraine by the Presidential Fund. It's over 100 universities already signed partnerships between Ukraine and the UK, the British universities, which also then help to establish partnerships, write proposals, research together, send master students. We also established 10 master programs, dual degrees. So basically you're studying in Ukraine, but you're able to get the UK, the British diploma, and the coalition of Ukrainian studies, which we already have mentioned, that Yuriy mentioned about the program that is also now works in over 17 countries. So let's talk now about the program. So basically the idea of the program is pretty simple, I would say, right? So we want to focus and support the young researchers in STEM. And this program basically designed to strengthen this collaboration between academic communities in Ukraine and UK. We have 3 major goals, right? So the first one is to boost cooperation between business and academia in Ukraine. So basically, this will be asked for you as the participants of this program. So what we will measure basically after the program, we will measure whether the participants have established at least one new partnership between university and industry. I think this is something that is slightly missing in Ukrainian kind of academic landscape, and UK, this is the place where a lot of things we have, or we can learn, be inspired by them, and see how actually this collaboration works. So the whole program is designed basically to explain how those partnerships are established, what are the benefits of them, and then the next step will be basically from the participants to actually bring this knowledge into action, into practice, and establish those partnerships. So as a result, as I said, the final result of the program, we will ask you to tell us and to showcase, okay, so this is the partnership that I've built or developed. We have very diverse participants. So we had 73 applications from 18 cities, and now we have 43 participants already who are participating in this program. We were targeting, to be honest, 30, but the applications were quite strong, and we didn't see kind of why would we refuse kind of others to join. So thank you so much for applying. We saw this interest and increased the numbers of participants. So just to cover a few areas, it's medicine, is energy, it's nanoscience, it's agri-technology, IT, and cybersecurity. Some of you works with AI, etc. So it's really inspiring to see all the young scientists from such a diverse areas. And this program is brought to you by 4 main partners. So we had the Presidential Fund, basically who was responsible mainly for the kind of operational part and the informational campaign, so that to make sure that you actually will apply and you will see the application. The University of Warwick, who is responsible for the program and also for the offline visit, the program in the UK. And we had main 2 kind of partners who supported financially. It's the Ukrainian academic diaspora and the FCDO in the UK. So the program structure will look in the following way. So we'll have 10 online sessions for 40 plus participants. We'll be sharing the recorded materials for broader audience. We'll have the Research Bridge UK study visit for 15 participants, and then we'll get the final STEM Innovation Showcase. Well, you will be able to present your results, the partnerships, the ideas that were kind of, they emerged after your participation. So here you can see the program schedule. This is the preliminary kind of program. Some of the speakers are already confirmed, some of them to be confirmed. So if anything changes, we will let you know kind of in a week, or it might be that we will share if, I don't know, someone can't join or anything happens. So we will update you at least a day before, so that you have time to review the background of the person. We'll share the links, the bios, so that you know actually who will be speaking and who will be presenting. So our sessions will be every Tuesday at the same time from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Kyiv time. So for the UK, it's like time 2 hours minus 2 hours. And as I said, we'll have sessions every Tuesday except for December 30, just like to give you some time for both speakers and participants to get ready to the new year. So now let's focus on the kind of the selection criteria and the visit for the visit in the UK. So basically, the visit in the UK is a part of a slightly bigger project, which is the Research Bridge project initiated by FCDO. And it's also kind of aiming at fostering collaborations between UK and Ukrainian researchers. It has 3 pillars. So the first one is the UCL Coordination Office. The second one is the UK-Ukraine STEM Pro Study Visit. And then the third one is the Royal Society Research Conference. So the UCL Coordination Office has been already launched, run by UCL. So there is a person who is basically responsible for coordination between UK and Ukraine institutions. The second pillar, which our project is part of, is the study visit. And basically, this is a second step of this online program. So we want to let you know that to be able to join this offline visit, we will kind of take into account 3 main things. So the first one is the attendance of the online program, and we want kind of to introduce the rule that like only those who will be absent for no more than 3 lectures will be able to apply for the next step. This is kind of just to respect the speakers and their time and effort as well as ours. Obviously, we do understand if you have any emergencies or something that you can kind of explain in more detail why you're absent, we will take it into consideration. Other than that, we will be kind of taking notes on like who is present. Also, we are inspired by some best practices of Harvard University, Lеція, others who are kind of adding additional points to those who are actively participating in sessions. So basically, if you ask questions, if you engage with the speaker, if you add any kind of valuable notes and questions, you will get extra points for that. And the third part is your proposal, is the project proposal for implementation after the visit. So we will ask you to submit a 1-pager in the middle of the program, where you will describe the relevance and clarity of your project, the feasibility, the outcomes, partnership, and in general, we will evaluate the kind of the quality of your 1-pager. You will have all the details in Notion. We will maybe cover them one more time slightly closer to the deadline. So basically the deadline is the 30th of December, and then we will get back to you with all the results in the mid of January, and then we will have another step, which is the visa application process, and then the UK visit, which is planned for the middle of February. What will happen in the UK? So basically in the UK, we will have a 1-week program which will be based at the University of Warwick. We'll also have a few additional visits to other universities. We'll talk to industry leaders, senior academics. I hope we'll go to maybe if not Rolls-Royce, then Jaguar, to see how they cooperate with universities. I think this is kind of some inspirational examples of how industry works with academia in the UK. Yeah, we have a link here, the slide with important links. So basically the most important link here, I would say, is Notion. I hope can you see my Notion now?
Yeah, I can see the page.
Perfect. So basically, this is our educational environment. So you will have here all the useful links, the schedule, timing, just for you to remember when it happens, the email for you to communicate if you have any additional questions. I'm not sure that everyone has already joined the WhatsApp group that we have, please do so. We will be communicating there informally, and also if you have any other kind of questions to the participants, this is a space where you can ask questions. We will be sending some useful links to WhatsApp group, so please do join. We'll also add the Google Drive. So in Google Drive you will have all the presentations, so basically 2 from today already there. And we will be adding every time, either before or after the presentation, after the session that we have. What are the other important links? So here we have the program. Also, you will have here the links, both to the driver as well as the recordings after the session. We'll be sharing them via email as well, but just for you to have them all in one place. I think it should be quite useful. So here you can also see the criteria for the UK visit, so that you also have them in one place. You can kind of read them, evaluate, and kind of start thinking. Maybe not just on the last day before the deadline of the submission, but meanwhile, so what, and like the project that you already, I think, submitted during the application process, but that time it will be kind of slightly bigger version of what you already submitted to us. Last time it was 200 words. So here you will have kind of more space to elaborate on your ideas. Here you will be adding the useful links, some articles that either we found as organizers are useful, or something that the speakers will be sharing. So you can find them there. And also, we want to create a list of the participants. For that, we'll share the final kind of form that will confirm your participation in this program today after this session. And we will ask you whether you're happy or not happy of sharing your contacts for the broader audience. So basically here, there will be a list, a table of the participants. Once you kind of confirm and share and give us the permission to share information about your participation in this program. So I think I covered it all. And now there's time for Q&A. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to cover and answer them. Or all is clear. No, there are some questions. Great. So I'll just stop sharing so that I see who is asking. Yeah, Nadia, I think you were first, so please go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for the great introduction to the program. Well, I have the question regarding the project. So am I right that we should either think it should be either no budget, or we should think about budgeting ourselves, like where to get the finance?
Yes, exactly. So unfortunately, we won't be able to provide any additional kind of support, financial support to your project. But yeah, so if you have in mind, okay, I want to, or I plan to collaborate with this
Я
particular...
просто и там.
Sorry? Igor?
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, if you need any additional budget, it's a good question, and it's a valid question. So where do you find and how do you find additional support to fund it, either through business or the partnerships or grants that you're planning to apply? So if you need funding, please cover where you will find it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Tamara, yes, please go ahead.
Good evening, dear colleagues. Thank you very much, Uliana, for your presentation. In general, everything is clean, but I have one question about the visa application. Do we have invitation for visiting UK for visa application, or it should not be obligatory in this case, can you describe more?
Yeah, there will be an invitation by University of Warwick, and Bo and her colleagues will take care of it. So I think we already discussed it with Bo, if you want to.
Yeah, once
Thank
we
you.
have the final list of those that will be visiting the campus, that we will be issuing a short visit visas. So they're not student visas or long-term visas, right? They're kind of standard short visitor visas, but you'll have the official invitation from the university to help you make that application.
Thank you. I also have just one question about our one-pager program. In generally, as a result, we should to make it just not on paper, but maybe presented practical results or not. It just only be our.
Tamara, we lost you. If you don't mind to either repeat or put it in the chat.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Everything okay. We are without lights. That's why some. Our main goal of our visit in UK is to present work project, or it just be on the as theoretical part of, which is the main goal.
So just to maybe to give a better kind of understanding. So we wanted to have a bigger group available and kind of who will be joining the online part, an online session. Unfortunately, we have limited resources for those who will be able to joining kind of offline part. And I wish we could take 40 plus people to the UK. Unfortunately, this is not the case this time. So as a result, we decided, okay, so we want kind of encourage those who will be applying and those who will be going to the UK to see what are the ideas of how and what they want to implement back in Ukraine. And for us, the main kind of outcome of this project is kind of whether you're establishing other partnership with the business, which business, how you will work with them, do you have any contacts, what actually you will do, and why the visit, why the physical offline visit is important for you to kind of implement this project is either to see something, to talk to someone, etc. So that the visit is kind of also in a crucial part for your project to be implemented. I mean, in the ideal world, I mean, I would definitely prefer to bring 40 plus, 50 plus, 100 plus people to the UK. Yeah, unfortunately, we have some limited resources. So only part of the bigger group will be able to do the offline visit, but still we will encourage the whole group to still do the partnership, present at the showcase innovation kind of meeting that we'll have later to tell, okay, so this is what I've done, no matter what, no matter whether you visited the UK or not. But if you can elaborate a little bit in your kind of one pager of, yes, this is how Visit will empower me in my project, I think this will be also quite valuable. I hope I answered your question, Tamara. Yeah, perfect. Thanks. Ivan, please go ahead.
Yep, I actually have two questions. One about this paper. This one, I mean, one-page application. So it has a paragraph about partnership. I would like to know more. So what does it mean? I didn't get. And second question for Mike, just a general question about university, about computational power for some neural model training, etc. Thank you.
So the partnership is basically we're encouraging you to build a partnership with the industry, with business. And for us, it's important to understand with whom do you want to build this partnership with. So is it, I don't know, for example, Kai University, Kiev Aviation University works with Ajax as an example, right? So, okay, probably this would be a bad example because there is a partnership already in place. But if you plan to work with any other industry company, it should be a real, so not imaginary partnership, but a very real practical partnership that will help either university, your faculty, your research, to progress, to do a better research, to build links There is also a new PhD programs that will be launched
А у нас там
by the...
квитки десь на 18:30. Це нам
Sorry.
куди?
I'm so sorry. So Igor is yeah. So if you can elaborate on like what are the partnership that you want to introduce? What I was saying, that the Ministry of Education of Ukraine is about to introduce the PhD industry PhDs, right? So basically, for which will enable students and PhD students do the research and work for the industry. If you can maybe talk to a broader, like the faculty administration, say like, okay, I want to be part of it, I want to introduce a new partnership. So this is sort of the partnership that we're expecting and we would like to see in your application. But please be realistic, right? So I mean, I wish you all to build partnerships, I don't know, with Tesla and other companies, but please be realistic in terms of like what are the kind of partnership will be there. Yeah, Mike, if you want to answer the question, please go ahead.
Thanks. Yes, I think there was a question about university computational facilities, which are very good. I've put a link in the chat. We have the way that we share major facilities is that they tend not to sit within a department, but are managed centrally. So we have these things called research technology platforms. So, for example, all of the universities' electron microscopes and atomic force microscopes and so on sit in a big research technology platform, and people from different departments use them as they need to. And the same is true of computing facilities. There's a link that I've put in the chat there, but the facilities are extremely good. I'm not a computational scientist myself. I can't remember who it was asked that question. Did you have anything particular in mind?
Just some numbers, some efficiency.
Okay, you can probably find that on the website that
Okay.
I've linked to. I can't tell you. I just know it's big and expensive and pretty good. Sorry, that's probably not very helpful, but I'm a chemist.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you so much. Victoria?
Yeah, hello. Good evening to everyone. And I have two questions. The first one, it is about our project description. And as I have understood, it will be some kind of feasibility study where, like, when you have a project, you can create some kind of this feasibility study. It means the document where you try to put the detailed description of each section. And my question is, will we have the structure, the template of this document, or it's like in the freestyle and we need to come up with our own structure, our own description, or it must be in some particular form? So we need to
Yeah, I can answer straight away
for you. Okay.
Yeah, so this kind of the overall, very high level structure already shared in the presentation. So you'll see kind of 5 different sections, and you have more like kind of questions that we're expecting you to cover in Notion. So you can see kind of more structured version of one pager, what we expect and what we'll be evaluating. So you have kind of quite detailed description of what will be evaluated, so you can kind of already see the structure, how and what should be covered. We won't share kind of I don't know, a template or something, because I think you have some flexibility of how you see it, but the structure is provided.
Okay, thank you. So it means that we need to cover those 5 sections, but in our own style. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. And the next question is, maybe I have one more question, but when you told us that we needed to come up with some results during the offline studying, which we want to implement back in Ukraine, yes? So is it necessary for us to create such project that will cover like benefits for both business and academic fields, or just maybe we need to focus on the some particular direction, like the business one or the academic one, or the combination of them? So do you have any maybe recommendations?
Yeah, I would say that the kind of some ideal outcome, or that the one pager that you're describing is basically the same, right? So you're describing the partnership, the project with the industry, based in your research interest, your university, your department, so that you're kind of engaging. Because I mean, I think the mutual challenge, to be honest, between the UK and Ukraine, even though we're in different positions, there is a lack of funding from the government, right? So there is always a lack of funding from the government, and the resources, the additional resources, is obviously industry and business, right? So our kind of incentive here is to incentivize young researchers to kind of think how they can work, cooperate, collaborate with the industry. I think this is something that is missing in general in Ukraine between academia and industry. They're like living in two different dimensions. So academia is here and industry there. So basically what we're trying to do here is kind of to show some examples of how industry and academia work, collaborate, support each other, that the industry or researchers research something that is quite useful for the industry, whether PhD students are researching and then working for the industry. So there is some sort of a link and bridge between two quite important fields of life, business and academia, right? So I think here the UK is a great example of how those links are built, and the main idea also of the visit in the UK is kind of to showcase those links, how they were built, what are the examples, how it works, so that you as kind of new generation of researchers of Ukraine will be able to kind of build those links and bridges by sort of a little bit of a training inspiration by the colleagues from the UK. So this is the kind of the high level goal and aim of this program, to inspire new generation of researchers to build those links, not to say, okay, we're in our world, you're in yours world, we don't talk to each other. Research is for research, business is for business. So I mean, obviously, we are realistic that there is a certain amount of business with whom universities can build those links in Ukraine, but please be creative, think out of box, like who are those potential links for your research, whether it's possible to identify, find them, even if you're a mathematician, right? So what are the potential links with whom you can collaborate, etc. So, and I would assume that this one pager would kind of basically describe this partnership, and later, as a result, you will also showcase, okay, so this is the partnership, this is the project. It's all started from one conversation. Now it's a small project that we are running together with industry. Sorry if I was
so much.
too long.
You fully covered everything, so you fully proved my understanding. Thank you very much. And the last question is just like a normal one. You know that the process of getting visa, it's like not super quick one. And according to the dates, I have understood that preferably to have all the documents prepared, yes, if you don't have an active visa now, because you know it will take some time to get it. So
yeah, but we will help here. So with the letter from universities, with the presidential support, with the presidential fund support. So we've had, I mean, like we had the groups previously in 2023, and recently a few groups also joined for the Ukraine UK or the week of Ukraine in the UK, which has recently was also organized by the twinning program, and we had a few groups who went to the UK, so we know the process pretty well. Yes, please have some documents, and you will have 1 week to collect the documents. So those who will be going, it will be time, but not like
prepared.
forever, not 6 months. Yes.
Okay. Many thanks for your answer.
Yeah.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank
Thank you
you
very
too.
much.
Artem, let's go for your question.
Yeah, hello everyone. First of all, thanks to presenters for these interesting sessions. And yeah, Victoria and you, Uliana, already asked and answered almost all my questions. Just maybe a small clarification from my side regarding the project, which we should present in 1 page. So should we already begin initiating conversations with potential business partners at this stage, or it is susceptible to present this in 1 pager and start connecting with them later after our proposal?
I would say it's up to you. So if you want to increase the chances, I would say start working on some partnership, talking to people, identifying right now. So why not? I would definitely say if you have in your proposal description that, okay, I've already talked, we already agreed, and this is the plan, this is when we'll be launching it, this is how it will look like. So if there will be more substance in your application, it's just like, will give you more chances to say, yeah, this is actually lots of work has been already done, so we'll support the application. So I would encourage you to start just thinking, talking, kind of researching and understanding, like not just what the hypothetical kind of project could be, but kind of quite tangible with the real partner.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Inna?
Thank you very much and good evening for all. Just want to clarify that should be Ukrainian industry partner, not from other countries and not from UK.
I mean, if you can find a partner from a different country, I mean, we will definitely will support it. So you don't have any kind of limitations here. So if you know someone from a different country and you already work with them or you're planning to work with them in the future, that's be great. Something that I will just ask you not to do is, if you already have this partnership, to present it as a new one, right? So for us, it's kind of obviously we don't have a syntax team who will be researching and kind of digging in whether it's this or that, but we just kind of rely on your kind of being honest with us and saying, yes, this is a new partnership that I'm planning to work on, or to work with this industry partner. Just please don't tell us about the partnership that is already in place, but it can be from anywhere in the world.
Yes, sure. It's not about like line in proposal. I just was asking about, do we need to find those connections during our visit? So is it the purpose for us or not?
Yeah, I mean, it also can be, if you describing as this is the purpose of my visit and this is like the list of the contacts I want to talk to, I plan already, let's assume you already contacted some industry partner in the UK, and then say, okay, during the visit, we agree that I'll be having a meeting with them or something like that. That would be also useful for us to see, okay, that you've done your work before. But I think that if you're just saying, okay, I plan to find some contacts during the UK visit, probably this will be a bad phrasing. But if you say, I've already had online call, my research, and then in the UK, we're planning to kind of do the offline kind of meeting, that's a different story.
Okay, and this sneaky question. So you mentioned that we should have not more than 3 times of absence during lectures, but the deadline is January 12, but lectures last to January 27.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like we'll make the decision based on those
sessions.
yeah, based on those sessions that we will have before the deadline. I mean, we'll have after the January 12th, like 2 more lectures. If for those who won't be selected, that would be the no-go now. I don't want to visit sessions anymore. I mean, up to you. We'll still be happy to see all the group. But yeah, the decision is yours.
Oh, it's just to clarify that I
Yeah,
understand.
sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Natalia?
Hello. So you partly answered what I was intended to ask about. So the situation, we already have confirmed partnership with some business industry, and we are working on several projects. So could be my project description based on ongoing projects?
I would definitely urge you and ask you to think of new projects and new partnerships rather than less telling us of already existing ones. And I mean, well done that you're already working with industry. This is exactly what we want you to do, right? And to kind of support you, incentivize you. But I would ask you to think maybe of something new. Maybe just like to describe, okay, so based on my already work, existing partnership, I think additional partnership like that would work well. That would be a better choice, I would say.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Alina?
Hello, everyone. I'm so thankful for you for today's meeting, and I have a question. Is it possible to take maybe some, I don't know, smallest consultant about like my future, my future project? So maybe to correct them or like to be sure so it can be in general, or maybe it's something like unrealistic.
You mean, do you want us to give a feedback before you submit the proposal?
Yeah, yes, to ask feedback maybe in case in the moment when I will prepare some project to understand, so like this is realistic or maybe like totally none. Because for me, for example, it will be the first time at all.
I mean, let me kind of sleep on this question and think about it, because if we start giving feedback for all the kind of, because I think there should be equal kind of opportunities for all. So we either do it for like 43 participants for all participants or to none, right? So that's just like to make sure that you're all in equal position. So my first kind of reaction would be, yeah, I want to help, but then I need to help each and every participant. Probably that is a little bit unrealistic. So most likely we won't give kind of a feedback. Maybe if you ask some questions during the sessions, that might be kind of valid and helpful, as in kind of overall, okay, so this is my way of thinking, and you can elaborate, and the design of the program that you're kind of listening and then designing and then listening and then designing, so that like this is the work in progress. So you can also maybe ask for some additional support for like the participants who are here with you on the program, or your colleagues at the university. I think that would be also fair.
Thank you so much. And also I have one more question. So in case if my future project will not be so good, or I don't know, in that case, I would like to ask you, can we take maybe any documents that we will try to work at this program, or we was invited to this program, something like this?
You mean as a certificate of participation or something like that?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
if we will not have a not good project, I only would like to ask.
Yeah, but you would like to have a feedback on the project. I mean, I think we'll try to give some realistic feedback, but also I think there will be just kind of and also I think what we can do we'll ask to those who will send really good applications to share with the rest to see some good examples. I think that will be also helpful.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. I hope Natalia, is it like, yeah, right? The last question. Yes,
No,
or what?
I have questions anymore. I just forgot to.
Okay. Perfect.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So I hope I answered all of your questions. There were a lot. Thank you so much. That's good to hear that you have questions. I also see there is very active chat, and I'm sorry I'm not following it, but I see Professor Ward is actually answering lots of questions. Thank you
I was
for
going
that.
to say, Mike is doing a brilliant job signposting people straight away. I mean, you'll know everyone even before you arrive here, which is fantastic. Thank you, Mike.
I'm Googling as fast as I can.
Showing off those skills. I just wanted to quickly touch on Ina mentioned the lecture and project writing. Just to say that I think, Uliana, do correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that obviously because it will be academics and faculty from across the university, they won't necessarily know a great deal about the project and kind of the requirements of the project. So please take the sessions that are to do with getting project funding, starting projects, leading projects with a pinch of salt, because they won't necessarily be specifically speaking to your context of this project. They will be talking about the experience of Warwick in the UK context in a kind of more macro way. Just wanted to throw that out there, Dan. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that, just so that we manage expectations of colleagues around what will be covered in some of those project-focused ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So it won't be kind of around the project description or anything like that. It will be a very high level, and then the project is kind of just very kind of practical aspects of what you understand how it works. Mikhailo, sorry, I think this will be the last question, and we'll wrap up.
Okay, first of all, thank you for the great presentations. My question is about, are we completely on our own in finding partners for our projects, or there will be some kind of networking in this project?
Yeah, I think you're here on your own with kind of thinking of who is the best possible partner, potential partner. I think it's almost kind of impossible for us to kind of invite or collaborate with kind of all the potential industry partners. I think there are a few initiatives, and probably something that might be of your interest is, I think Civita, they are organizing now like networking events for researchers to merge with the industry partners. And probably if you kind of research what they do and how they do, probably you can find some industry specific companies who are actually doing the networking for researchers to make sure that they're building connections with industry. But here unfortunately, due to the lack of resources, we won't be able to navigate this networking for all of you.
Okay, thank you. And one last question. I've tried to open the Notion page just by typing the address I've seen in the screen share, and I kind of cannot open it. Maybe I typed something wrong. Will the link be shared afterwards?
Yeah, sure. Just like once this session will be over, we'll be sharing all the details via email, and also put them to the WhatsApp chat, so you have them in both chats in both places.
Great, thank you.
There's a couple of questions about logistics, but I'm conscious of time, and it may be something that might be more helpful to share out to colleagues through Notion, but around visas, and I'm assuming kind of covering some of the logistical costs and things like that. I don't know whether you wanted to say something tonight or whether that's another day.
I mean, well, you can cover but we will be covering the UK visit in detail, I think, later on.
It's not was about logistics to UK, it was about field of study, logistics. My interest in logistics, and I asked.
Okay, I thought you meant right.
Sorry, it's my mistake, not correct question. Sorry for that.
Yes, we do, and I've put a link in. The university runs an MSc in supply chain management and logistics.
Thank you.
And there's a link in the chat. So logistics and supply chain management are done in Warwick Manufacturing Group, some of it in collaboration with the business school, I think. But yes is the answer to that question.
Thank you.
And I see a minor homework to research the Warwick University website to see the faculties, the departments, the links, the research groups. You will be surprised the amount of information they have on their website, names of the professors, their emails, the research group connections, everything is there. So if you want to also just not to ask Professor Ward, but somebody else from your department, or your area of research and interest, you might be able to find their email and to kind of send a direct email to the particular person, professor, researcher who is researching your topic, and ask maybe for additional support or whatsoever. But please research the website. It has lots of information. So everyone, thank you so much for your time. Professor Ward, Bo, thank you all. Thank you all the participants who joined, who decided to kind of spend your Tuesday evenings with us for the next almost 2 months, slightly more. I hope you will be enjoying the program itself. I also hope that you will be thinking on kind of very realistic industry partner between your industry, your research area, and the industry partner. I hope you will be able to find such a partner in Ukraine or abroad, and we'll have very strong 15 like applicants and those who will be joining the offline part, and maybe at some point will be also to bring more people to the UK. Please take a shot, please participate, ask questions. This program is for you, and I hope it will be useful. Thank you all, and have a safe night and evening.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Bye bye. See you next
Bye-bye.